Hey everybody, this is War Boss Fitz, and today we're going to be making some stuff. Now, this all started when I saw this picture in an Oldhammer group, and it made me feel some kind of way. It made me feel nostalgic for a time that no longer exists. So I thought, I could build that. So to start off with, we're going to need bricks. Lots and lots of large stone bricks. Like lots of them. Like you think you're done making bricks? Nope. Make some more. Keep on going. I'm not ashamed to say that I went back and had to do this 2 more times. So let's make a base. What I did here is I sketched out what is going to be the footprint of this building. So you can see here I'm figuring one main room with an offshoot off of it, well, or they would just be connected on the inside. We don't care about the inside, we're just going to do the outside. And because of the picture and the way it looked, I figured, you know what, I'm going to make a little fence here, a place for them to like leave the animals or whatever. And then I had to, of course, label it for myself because I'd forget. Where there was going to be an overhang and then some doors, because I don't know about you guys, but anyone who's done construction like me, whenever there's blueprints, you just put the doors in, otherwise they'd forget. And here you can see throwing down the keystones and then just block out the walls one after the other, and in the picture it showed they weren't straight, so I definitely didn't make it straight. Or I didn't make it to where they were all the same size, nothing really lined up. Because you gotta figure this is a Brettonian peasant who made this house. A guy who can, he can't count past 10 because he's only got 10 fingers. Probably only got 9 fingers, let's be honest. So just keep on going through, laying blocks kind of scattered. Just throwing blocks on top of each other. Just keep going. Here you can see I went through the inside to give it a little bit more structure. If I was going to do this again, I would definitely build walls and then put bricks over top of them. But, we're winging it. Like everything else we do on this channel. If you all think I'm professional, this is not the place to be. So, here I am. I'm building up the corners of the walls because it's going to have a... It's going to have a roof peak on there, and when using the hot glue, the wire cutter is real nice because it will work its way through the hot glue as well. So it's time to start working on this roof. So we got what I'm using right here is just popsicle sticks from Walmart, and those small sticks there over on the right hand side, those are just coffee stirrers that I picked up somewhere. So here you can see where I'm putting the roof joists in, the roof supports in, and just a couple of pieces that I'm going to have overhang where the overhang is, so you can see the structure poking through the bottom. So now it's time to start doing the doors. You see me measure the height that I'm going to want, and I'm using the coffee stirrers because these seem to be about the right size for a 1x6 or something in 32mm scale. I'm not sure, but in my mind that justifies it. So this is going to be the main door. Just all the 5 of the sticks stuck together with one cross beam on either side, hot glued down to hold the structure. And you're going to see me fighting hot glue strings the whole way. God, I was so mad at that in this one. It wasn't terrible, it was just one of those things that got on my OCD. Strings everywhere. So there's our main door. Now over to our secondary door. You see I do the same thing except with one less stick because I figured this is just going to be a smaller door. Don't really know why, just figured, hey, it'll be smaller. So then, whenever you want to cut wooden dowels, this is what I do: is I line them up, run a hobby knife across them, and then crack them, just like that. That gives you a couple even with each other pieces. And then just for the fence, those wooden dowels, laid down a layer of hot glue, popped them in there. Now for the fencing, I went with some paper and then realized I have a cutting board. I should probably use that to cut the paper. And then super glue, which eventually did eat through the bottom corners of the brick. And I just went back and threw another brick on top of it later. But you can see here, just weave it through, dot of glue, weave it through, dot of glue. This is one of those where I was like, man, I wish I had smaller fingers. I think this is the thing that took the most time, is figuring this part out. So, unless you really like the way the fences look, don't do a fence. There's no point in it. And then just because, cut some more larger dowels just to have a pile of logs there by the door, because, why not? Now this is the reason why I decided I know how I can do this. This stuff is fake fur. I got it from, it was a rug that I found in a dumpster at work. So I stripped it down, chopped it up, cut it to the right size, and laid it down on the roof. Now, this is totally an experiment. I just thought, hey, this is how it works. I didn't know. So the next step is Mod Podge. Take it, slap a ton of it on the roof, and work it in. And when I say work it in, really work it in. Like, really work it in there, down into it, because this, you could get a shorter shag fur carpet to use that. I would definitely suggest that. This stuff was rather thick. I even tried to bust out my my razor to shave it down, and it was not shaving. So it's some synthetic blend that do not like getting cut. And then for the roof, a couple more wooden dowels, chip them up. The best way to make a wooden dowel look like a log is beat the crap out of it. Chip it, nick it, carve little pieces out of it. And now we have our logs for the roof. So here, while the Mod Podge was still wet, I just took those and I sunk them right in there. This way it's going to be able to kind of pillow out the thatch roofing around it, and also the Mod Podge itself is going to hold that down too. And then some cross members for the roof logs. Now, as an American, I've never seen a stone and thatch work hut, so I didn't exactly know how these were supposed to go in there. And of course, being me, I didn't look at the reference picture past the first bit. So I'm kind of winging it at this point. Now here's more Mod Podge. Here's more Mod Podge. I'm doing this all in one take. So I'm going to make some wonderful mouth movements with this. But, okay, with the Mod Podge for the styrofoam, I add some ink to it just so I know where it is. Because otherwise, I'll miss entire walls. I've done it in the past where I finished something and then sprayed it and completely melted it. So this way, I'll know where it is, know where I need to put it. And I even worked that black up into the roof. It didn't need another coat, but this way I could try to maneuver around what's there for the last time before it sets up. And here's our dude standing next to it, showing the scale. So next up, what we're doing here, which is taking a piece of MDF. I think I got this out of a closet shelving unit, and just popping it down on that just to give it more stability. And then spray paint the crap out of it. On to the next day, after everything is dry, here we are. We got our gray primed piece. It still melted a little bit, which I was pretty sore about that, but it's time for paint. So you guys know me, everything that is cheap, We're going for apple barrel brown. Just we're going to coat all of the wood and all of the thatching on the roof in brown. Slather it all in. And because it's terrain, there's no reason to make too thin coats. Just beat it with your brush. At least that's my philosophy. It's terrain. It's not supposed to be the prettiest thing. So just get the color on there. And then here we go, the doors, the fence, the wood outside, the wood sitting outside the door. And now we are going on to the brick. So we started with the base gray. We're going to take a little lighter gray, give that a heavy dry brush. Just going around everywhere. Just a heavy dry brush on everything. And then for the thatch roof, while the brown paint was still wet, we're going to put in some yellow. And what that's going to do is it's going to mix in along with the brown and kind of mute everything down up there. And it does kind of look like a bright yellow after this step, but don't worry, we're going to get to our washes, and it's going to mute that right down. And then, of course, I went over the brown with the yellow, so just go back with the brown, give everything a touch-up coat. Now, this is me. I'm kind of sketching out what the floor or what the base is going to be, just to give myself a guideline. And I will flock it, but this is, again, just another guideline to show me where the flock is going to go. And then earth. Now we got some gray earth effects here. This is it's going to look really good once we wash it. It's going to come out with a natural mud-looking color. So just spread that around where I want the not grass to go. And that's going to be it. Now the hardest part is to wait for all this to dry. And here's a little overview to show you where we are at so far. So now, after it's sat all night dried, I have a little container of brown oil wash that I want to use. And with this, you're going to see just how much it mutes that color almost immediately. There we go. Now we're going to do that all over the roof. And then I figured while I was at it, it's going to stain the wood. And then I even went over the brick with it, because the brick after looking at the roof was way too bright for it. And there it is going on the ground to make that mud color. And this is like, you know how they make the joke in all period movies in the medieval setting is you gotta just put a wash of poop on everything? That's what this is. Put the poop wash on it. It makes it look medieval and makes it look like it's been there for 1,000 years. So we do our brown oil wash all over everything. And it's going to run into every crack. That's why I love using an oil wash. It's just paint thinner, a little bit of brown paint that you can get. Brown oil paint you can get anywhere. It costs like $1. And I have enough. It's going to last me probably the rest of my lifetime. So that's it. That's our Brettonian peasant hut / cottage / hovel / a bunch of bricks stacked up on top of each other with a thatch roof. Now, if I do this again, definitely more Mod Podge, so it won't seep through. But that's it. Thanks, guys, for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell me what I did wrong. Throw some shade at me for that one. I can't believe I let half of that melt. I actually made a separate one that didn't make it to the channel because it was bad. But hope to see you all next time here on War Boss Fits. Have a good one.